Sometimes the loudest breakthroughs come in complete silence. A lot of people fear isolation because they look at it like a form of weakness, but it's really a weapon that you can use to maximize your full potential. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I feel like silence can really help you get to that next step in your life. And we're going to dive deep. And the 3rd reason is really the reason that I feel like is the most important. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that one. So reason 1, clarity only comes in silence. It's a lot of times people feel like when you isolated is like a bad thing, but a lot of times people don't really realize that when you're around a lot of people, that influence kind of shapes the way you think, whether you believe it or you don't. And that's just something that's really needs to be talked about here. Really, once you step back and you get to yourself, that's when you kind of realize, like, you start to find your own identity. That's when you actually meet yourself and you start to have one-on-ones with yourself and really get to understand who you really are. It reveals the parts of you that needs healing. It reveals the dreams that you buried. It just reveals the inner you that you really need to get back and lock in with. And what I learned too, like being on this road, like those long hours to yourself and them times where you just got nothing but time to think, it really showed me me. It really showed me all the things that I needed to be focusing on. It really showed me all the things that I neglected. It showed me all the things that I didn't even really pay attention to. You get what I'm saying? And that's really needed in life. Sometimes you need that ISO moment just to really lock in with yourself and get to really learn yourself. I started isolating and I started hearing my own voice. I started hearing my inner me talking to me and really making me understand all the things that I was putting to the side and not really developing and spending time on. Sometimes you can't hear the people, the outside noises, because the outside noise will cloud your judgment, and that's not needed when you're trying to elevate and improve your mindset. Like, you gotta have times where it's just you and God and just talking one-on-ones, and you get to really study yourself and really put yourself first. Point number 2, growth needs space, not chaos. You can't build a foundation in chaos. Think of it like a seed. A seed doesn't grow in the spotlight. A seed grows in the dark. It grows under pressure. It grows underneath the surface. Like, you don't really notice it. It's isolated. You get what I'm saying? Isolation is your soil. You develop the focus, the patience, the discipline, where nobody's clapping for you. That's where that gets developed. It gets developed in isolation. You don't get those things when you're constantly around people and you're around a whole bunch of different opinions and different outside influences. You don't get that there. You get that when you're isolated. You get that when you're to yourself, building that set foundation for yourself and really showing up for yourself when nobody's there. That's when you build that. That's what isolation brings to you when you're away from all of that outside influence. Think about how hard it is to focus when your phone is constantly buzzing. Think about how hard it is to focus when you're constantly trying to extend your hand to a million different people. You only have 2 hands and 2 feet, and so it's hard to be, and it's only one you. It's hard to be a million places at once. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're trying to like be there for everybody and show up for everybody and do things for everybody and be that savior for everybody, who's gonna save you? Who's gonna take that time out to really do that for you and extend that same grace to you? Not a lot of people, right? So that's why you have to isolate and really be that for yourself. You got to regroup and build that for yourself to really get to that point where you're able to share as much as you can to other people. You can't pour something from an empty cup. You can't. You know what I'm saying? And that's what all of this taught me. Like, being on the road, being on that toll road, it taught me that. It taught me why you got to put yourself first and you got to isolate from all the outside noises and get away from all the chaos and just be you in the road. Just you in the road. That's it. Just you, isolated. Not too much talking, not too much calls at that moment. It's just you. And you really need that when you're trying to grow in life. And point number 3, this is probably the best one. You will return better and greater than you can ever imagine. Like, you will return unrecognizable. When you give yourself that time and that grace to really develop yourself to the best of your ability, I promise you, you will show up and you'll be a person they never even imagined. They'll be like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? Once you gave yourself enough time to really regroup and rewire your whole way of thinking, you show up a new person. Whether you want to be in the gym and you isolated to get your body right, whether you want to accomplish a set goal and you show up when that goal is accomplished, like, it's better to build in the silence, and then when you pop out, like, you're the new and improved you. It's even more better. Like, the applauses that you wanted is even more louder then. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like they didn't have a chance to interfere with that growth. And that's what the isolation is doing. It's keeping you out of harm's way. It's keeping away from everybody who's going to try to stunt your growth and deny you of set accomplishment. Because sometimes, again, people can only see as far as they can spit sometimes, honestly. Sometimes people don't see as far as you see, and that's why the outside influence kind of mess up your way of thinking, because now you might aim for the stars and the moons, and this person just aiming for down the street. They can't even see that far, and you can't grow around people like that. That's why sometimes before you weed out the bad fruit and the good fruit, just isolate yourself from the basket and just grow. Just do what you got to do in ISO. It's very much needed, and I had to learn that as well too. So a lot of times you just got to get away from a lot of people, everybody. It don't matter who it is, good or bad. You got to get away from everybody and just put you first. Put both feet on the pavement and just hit the ground running, and then show and pop back out when it's necessary. When you able to show your best version of yourself. Moral of the story is, if you're in a season of isolation, don't fight it, embrace it. This is where the real work is. This is where the real work starts. It doesn't start when you're in front of everybody. It starts when there's nobody there. It starts in the empty gym when there's no audience. That's where it starts. It starts when you're by yourself, and this is when you have the world as your oyster at that moment. Now you have the whole canvas to paint. That's where it starts. So don't fight it. That's the message for today. Embrace the isolation and really take it head on strong. Keep God first, and just, you could do it, because I believe in you. This part of my Toll Road Talks. It's another edition of my Sim series. So if you like what we were talking about today, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and tune in for the next episode. And we're going to have a lot of more Toll Road Talks. So while we out here on this road together, appreciate y'all for checking in.